deep breath in. Then exhale. So exciting to be here. Here in this moment. In Austin, Texas. Yeah, it's so incredible to meet you here, like after 7 years of having an online relationship and just friendship, and meeting you through Karma Tribe, which I feel like has been like a microcosm of what we need in the world. And I'm really looking forward to building a new system similar to Karma Tribe and like finding the keys and codes to do that. Karma Tribe was a gifting economy. It was a platform of people helping each other for free. We had 3,000 members in over 150 countries, and basically you could offer anything or ask for anything that you needed on the platform, which is super cool, without any restrictions, like any exchange, which I loved about it, because it wasn't like you had to like give something back or, you know, in return. And I found Karma Tribe when I was super depressed. I was like really depressed in Mexico. Like I wanted to kill myself at that point. And I found a lot of hope in Karma Tribe, and yeah, like it was really amazing to meet you, because I started meeting other people on this journey, and I just went through all this like this pain of going through the dark night of the soul journey at that point. And I feel like that was like a big tipping point of like going into darkness and having to like feel the suffering and the pain of the world and of my own life, and just being in that space. So it was, you know, truly a light in my own life to have found Karma Tribe, which then brought me to Costa Rica, because they invited me to come volunteer at Envision Festival with Karma Tribe to sign up people to the web app. And we signed up over 500 people in that weekend, which was super fun. And just like getting emails and interacting and meeting all these new people and giving out free water and just being able to interact on a new level, and like just opening my eyes to a new possibility of a new future. And at that year at Envision, I heard David Casey speak about New Mundo, which is a platform of all eco-villages and intentional communities. And that completely shifted my path to start traveling to sustainable communities in Costa Rica. Started learning about this new way of living in community and in relation with the land, and starting to build gardens and food forests, and starting to create food sovereignty, and realizing that the earth embodiment and the, you know, return to the land is the vital next step in the regeneration of our planet, and in shifting the narrative from one planet that is in destruction because we were fighting each other, into harmony, into creation of a new earth. So yeah, it's really exciting. And you had just mentioned something about your story with Karma Tribe.
Yeah, it was similar, and like seeing that platform was it was very early on. Like it wasn't anything alternatives to like the big ones, MySpace and Facebook. So it was amazing to see that, because there was really nobody else doing that. So when I saw that, I was inspired to try to do something similar. So I reached out to I think
David?
I reached out to David because they're both named David. That's
So David Casey and David Gurlitt,
and that's how I ended up connected with New Mundo too. So that's interesting you said that New Mundo, because I had already been aware of Woof Woof, and then somebody told me about New Mundo, and I got invited to go to the New Seed gathering. So that Karma Tribe group of people were bridged all over the place and really opened me up as well. Not just met you, but you know, the New Seed gathering was like, I learned so much there. We just covered so much. So yeah.
Where was that?
That was at Fuente Verde. No,
nice.
Verde Anahia. I'm sorry. Fuente Verde
nice.
is another one. Yeah, it was at Verde Anahia.
That's the first place I went after Envision.
Really?
Yeah, for forest dance, and that's where I met Brian, who was working on New Mundo.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was the first time I ever went to that land, and then I found out that they also used to was the forest dance.
That's what I was at.
Okay, you went to the forest dance.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of it, but I was like volunteering at Verde Energia, and that was like literally went straight from Envision to there.
Yep.
So it was completely like opened up that whole world.
Yeah, it's a really small world, and I think what you say, like that we can live in community and harmony. Why I think that those people are fortune tellers is like everything that we were doing in Costa Rica, whatever, 10 years ago, but probably even 60s and 70s, right? Like some of the people I met there had been there since the 70s, and they truly are living that. You know, they have now their fruit trees are 20, 30 years old. Food forests are really food forests now, so like the little seeds of consciousness are already 30 years into the experiment in Costa Rica, and why, you know, why Karma Tribe fit right in there. Everybody down there saw it, you know, and I didn't know you got 500 signups.
Yeah. As a group,
At Envision?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I think there was like me, Sabriel, like David, and maybe one other person on and off, but yeah, mostly the three of us. And
that's so great.
Yeah, it was so inspiring. It was just such a shift, you know, to have people interact on that, and you know, people were so excited about it. And it was so organic back then because we just had a little tent. It wasn't like the whole big thing, and, you know.
Yeah.
So to go into a festival like that, having never experienced a festival in my life, like a transformational festival, to go in as like a part of it, as like, you know, connecting with people on that level as like a networker, completely transformed my life, you know.
Yeah.
Like I think it just opened a door to a new path. So. Yeah.
And it was simple too. From what I remember, the platform was just like
so
your
simple.
skills and like reach out.
Yeah, I think you had something about. I'm trying to remember what was on your profile that we connected on, because you had something about the hero's journey or something.
Okay.
I think there was something about in your messaging that was like, yeah, something about that.
Okay, yeah, the hero's journey. I probably wrote a lot about that because I was doing storytelling workshops at the time.
Okay.
And I would put on inspirational music soundtracks.
Okay, cool.
And actually do narrations for films with those playing.
Oh.
Because the nature of music has the ability to help us move through story arcs built just in so I was all obsessed with that in my life, you know, because I was a coder before that, but I rebelled against it. I'm going to be a filmmaker now.
Yeah.
So that year you met me, that was my day of like, I'm only doing films. And so that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, because I had just joined Superhero Academy that year, and it was like a school for people that want to change the world. So it was all about storytelling and documenting your story and marketing. So that's when I first picked up my phone to start documenting everything. And so I think that's what I saw in your profile, that was like, oh yeah, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that Superhero? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it was like an online platform and program, so you had different videos and like homework, and so it was just a lot of, it was built by Marcangelo Coppola, who has Valhalla Farms in Montreal, and also a partner sister farm in Vermont, and they're really tapped into the collective network of like newer organizations, and they held like the big masterminds in Punta Mona before Envision Festival a couple of years. They also had a big camp at Envision, like a Superhero Academy camp, so they had lots of speakers and workshops, and they were really like all about taking action, and then also like documenting your story and like talking about the hero's journey, so the 8-step story of like the villain and the, you know, and like what was the, you know, the inciting incident and the problem, and so I started to tap into that, and I just fell in love with filming. I taught myself to film by myself through that, so it really pushed me to another level. It was really challenging. It was, I think the biggest challenge was that I feel that could be added for the future if there was another program to be built like that, is just the accountability and the community side of it. Because I feel like it was just like kind of a push off the cliff, which is fine because that's what I guess my soul, you know, wanted at that time, but it was really challenging in the sense of like I really just saw all the problems with the world, and I didn't want to be a part of it because I saw the corruption with money and how all the taxes and all of our money is going into funding war and like destroying the planet and into like extracting oil to make plastic, and just why are we putting all the taxes into killing each other, you know? So I completely was like, I don't want to be a part of this money system. And like, that's why when I found Karma Tribe, I was like, wow, this is like not using money. So I thought it was so valuable, because one of the biggest things I want to bring forth in the planet is just like revaluing money and reimagining what we find valuable. So quantifying like these trees behind us that are giving us oxygen, quantifying what the air is doing for us, the sun, the water, the Amazon rainforest, and our human connection, because relationship is the true currency, and energy. So moving beyond the extractive 2D fake economy, to say that we because they had made up this thing called money as a society. So we have to revalue what we find valuable. And so when I found Karma Tribe, it was really inspiring, but through that journey I was completely like, I don't want to be using money. So I kind of like went through a really challenging time, because I was hitchhiking through Mexico, and like without any cards or any money. And so I had to face real challenges. And when I entered Costa Rica, I was literally exchanging like my last like Mexican pesos to like get on the bus to go to my couch surfing house. Like, so I think right now I'm in process of healing my deep-rooted scarcity consciousness. And I've found so much value in things that like not even money. I've had the most amazing experiences in my life in the last few years, just going to all these festivals that are worth millions and millions of dollars, and conferences. And I've been working part-time now, but I think that I've had such a beautiful life beyond the challenges of like being able to manifest all these amazing things without even having like that much money, So I'm really grateful for that, and I think I can help guide other people and teach other people to move beyond that, because I find that the world I feel like the world is going through what I went through 7 years ago with the pandemic, because everyone is like in scarcity mode now. Not everyone, but a large percentage, like way more than it was before, because of the fake inflation and everything. Yeah. So everyone's coming into this scarcity mindset. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what it's like. No, but like some people don't. I mean, obviously people do in India, and people that like literally have nothing, that like they're on that they've been in poverty their whole lives, and they don't have the consciousness or the willpower to like get out of that. But I think it's a really big time to come together as a community to support one another, with money or without. Like beyond that, just supporting our dreams and our projects, and making money too. But just being able to hold each other in a space of resonance, so that we can evolve and like let go of those fears. Yeah. Because we need to shift into resonance and love in order to build a more harmonious world.
Absolutely, yeah. It's interesting you say how like that space of disillusionment that you reached, where it's like, oh my God, I'm doing all of this work, like the hummingbird that's spitting water on the fire, the trees. It's like that place of disillusionment, I think the collective is at. So frozen, like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, I was lied to with everything, and they're just sitting there. But I mean, I feel like 10 years ago that was us. Like, oh, but now they're gonna have to go through that disillusionment. And I find that people who've been doing the work are ready actually to receive money, and whatever money may come in the form of, because we may very well see in the next couple of years an entire refacing of it in the system. So it's like, but the money of being able to employ people in our visions is like, I feel like our visions are here, right? Environmentalism is not like just like for fringe hippies. Like it's like the mainstream thing, all budget lines are going to environmentalism. And the same thing with like mapping and immersive technologies, like which I've always been into, is like to coming to its full fruition. So I think that money has been like I had a different experience than you, I'll say. I did not know you were going through that, because I was staying at 5-star hotels in plush robes at that time when we met. So Karma Tribe was more like, wow, I want to chase this out, because I was living in pure abundance. But there was a sense of like, kind of like an emptiness to it, right? I can manifest any bit of money, but like what?
What was the emptiness?
The emptiness was not having the mission fulfilled.
Oh, but you had money, but you weren't fulfilled.
Right, it wasn't
Yeah.
fulfilled.
Yeah.
So it's like, coming into mission is really like, it's really, I think, where the value is. Like, even in relationships, right? Like, we're not going for just security. It's like we're going for the good relationship, but getting security always gets in the goddamn way of really just wanting to be happy, Whereas people who are used to being poor are just happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're living on rice and beans, and they love it. And it's built into their culture, whereas the collective now is going to have to design their version of what first generation immigrants already know how to do. It's like, what does it look like now? It's not going to go back to living, first generation, ultra orthodox Catholic or secular religion, but something new. And I think that's what we're all exploring, right? It's like, some of the people here, like Google executives are here, and they're curious. They're like, they got all the money you want. You hear that, guys? Like, yeah, we're in the bazillions of dollars. That's the reality of it. And still they're feeling empty. So that's why I try to see that, even on the other side of the aisle, and especially with people who are going to give us millions of dollars, they're like, they want to be doing this too. Because when you have all the money, then you, like, what do I do now?
Yeah. It's so crazy to think about that, because I'm like completely opposite. I'm like, oh, I know what you can do. All the solutions are here.
Right. Just
we have
pay for one farm.
Yeah.
This
anything,
farm.
Anything. There's just like conservation projects and regenerative real estate, and like there's just so many things that anyone can tap into. But so it's like mind-boggling to me that people aren't aware of that. But I guess it's just like what you're tuned into, and I just had this deep mission for so long. For my heart, for the environment since I was a child, because I spent so much time in nature, and especially going to the Amazon rainforest, just like even before I had a spiritual awakening, it was like my deep roots with nature, intertwined, and learning about the biodiversity and just the importance, the value, and how it's so important for our survival and thrival.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that the collective is going to go through maybe a similar arc that you did? We talked a bit about the hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
If you had like a map that said you are here in that storyline, where would you put yourself right now, and where do you see the collective in that journey process?
Yeah, I feel like in different archetypes. So right now, I feel like as the inflation goes up, there's that increasing scarcity.
Yep.
And I feel like it's going to cause more harm right now, which is sad.
Dark nights of the soul kind of time.
Well, not just harm for each individual, but I think it's causing more war and more suffering.
Macro
stuff because of the inflation and like the increased like insecurity of everyone and like the need to survive.
Yeah.
And then collectively, I think that like on one side of it, there's like such a big amount, like such a big community of people that are awakening. Like we have millions of people are awakening, and hundreds of thousands of organizations that we're starting to map out.
Yeah.
And so
what do you think they need? And do you remember being in that space yourself?
Of being in the scarcity?
Yeah. What did you do, and what helped you? Because the collective needs that.
Yeah, I think number one is going into meditation, going within.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to generate from ourselves first. Like I was bedridden because I had injured my back and my motorcycle accident. So I did a spirit guided hypnosis meditation, which started that evolution process and within myself. And I started, I did my yoga teacher training. So not even just teaching yoga, but doing that for myself. Like yoga allows me you can move the energy that's stuck in your body and like clear your mind and like access a greater level of consciousness and awareness and heal yourself. It's truly healing. It heals all of the cells in your body. And then also finding community, like being able to volunteer in communities is what shifted my life, to start to understand and be aware of that there's more out there than just the matrix, I didn't grow up like this at all. Like I grew up in, first of all, like a conservative Christian home, and then B, matrix life. Like I was spending all my money on clothes, like for, clothes that are, probably made in China, and just like destroying the planet, and like spending all my money going shopping on weekends when I was in high school,
Yeah.
and eating, just like that's it. It's like that was my life. And besides, I was still very connected to nature, but I had no idea, like had no idea about all these systems until I went to university and started like awakening to like the environmental disaster that we're facing. And then the shift happened where it's like I realized that we were creating the problem because we were like fighting climate change, and we were like fighting all these like, we have to go against these people, but it's like we can't be fighting someone and create a resolution. We have to like shift and embody the solution. We have to like take care of ourselves first, in order to make any shifts, Yeah. And so being able to like do inner work and rewrite like belief systems of my own, deprogramming like trauma from childhood, like any kind of trauma, we need to like uncover and unpack and release that and change our perception and perspective on like what has happened to us, and not be like attacking it or like resentful, but like thanking the lesson that it was there for us. Because I feel like I wouldn't recognize the level of light and solutions if I hadn't gone so deep into the darkness and so much suffering. Because I was like, whoa, it's the contrast, like Abraham Hicks talks about. Like if you go see the contrast, then you're like, whoa, I don't want that, And so I was like, how can I get as far away from that as possible and go into the light? And so I've always been like chasing the solutions, which I wouldn't say is the right way to do it, but I feel like it gives me so much purpose and value in my life, and I feel on purpose when I'm in it. And being able to regain the trust in myself and recreate the image of myself, because I hated myself. I didn't want to be alive. I thought I was a horrible person at that point in 2017. Like I went through so much darkness that like I didn't think that I was in so much isolation at that point, and that's what really makes us sick, is the isolation. Yeah. And so I didn't even want to be around anyone because I thought I was such a horrible person, which is, it's crazy to me to think like that now. And I feel like I've completely transformed, not like 1,000%, but like I'm like a completely different person than I was 7 years ago. And so I'm really grateful to have stepped into that. Now, once you start healing yourself, you tap into a synchronicity that wasn't there before. Yeah. You manifest things, and things come into your life like that without even knowing. Like in the last 2 years, I've just kept manifesting in these synchronicities, like the right place, the right time, the right person, and you meet them. And I feel like I broke a barrier at Burning Man last year in 2022 because I met Adrian Grenier, who is one of the only, like, I would say A-list Hollywood actors that switch into regenerative agriculture. Like, he's actually one of the only people that talk about, like, regenerating the planet on Mind Valley and other podcasts and, on the internet publicly, and now has a farm actually outside of Austin here in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I just forgot. Yeah. Oh my God, we should go by them. Yeah, because they have a documentary called Earth Speed, and then and other documentaries, like he's the founder of Lonely Whale, and they made a documentary called The Loneliest Whale, and he's made a lot of environmental documentaries. And he was on HBO's Entourage. Do you know him?
No.
I'll show you him later.
Wait,
he was on Entourage.
So. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I met him at Burning Man last year, and I was like so scared, but I was like, I just gotta say hi, because I like was I was with friends, and my intuition was like, go to the front, and it was at the big pyramid, and then I saw him right beside me, and then I was like, oh my God, Glow, you just gotta say hi. And then so I said hi, and he was super nice. He was with his wife, and it was just like such a dream, and to be able to like, I just felt like it broke this barrier of like, now I can manifest something, it's possible. So
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a series called Earth Speed, and
did they go to Costa Rica in one of the episodes?
That's Zac Efron.
Okay,
and that's a really good one too. If you haven't seen Down to Earth, the Costa Rica episode, they go with Stephen Brooks to Ecovia, where I stayed during COVID, and this year house sat a little bit in Punta Mona. Yeah, it's so sad. Yeah, we gotta revive it. Yeah. And Fingamorpho too.
There's probably some people spotting it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Our friends are actually going to be making a documentary at Envision this year, and they're going to start and film some stuff. Well, they're going to do a live film series, not a documentary, so it's going to be more reality. But yeah, it's. I hope that they can revive Pintamona and also Ficamorpho, because that's another pillar space too that has kind of shut down. But
Kikon.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But I am grateful for this innate gift to know what everyone does. Like, I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
And I think that's my greatest superpower. And I want to be able to use that to, share with as many people as possible and partner with as many organizations as possible to really amplify a new narrative and create the new Earth media and just be able to weave this web. Because I've been building a database for so long and just tracking the field, and it's just like my mind just stores it, so I know okay, no, you're doing treasure maps, or everyone if I've met them already and I've had a conversation, I'll remember it, or someone here's a link, just put it in my file. And it's so cool to be in that space with people, because not everyone knows it. And even just literally every conversation I have, I tell people about Water Bear, which is an earth-based Netflix, and Only One is a specifically ocean conservation media platform. And I'm literally, I don't 99% of the time, the people that I tell, they don't even know about it. I'm how is this information not readily available? I've known about it for so long, and I just feel that information needs to get out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just waiting
for us to share it.
To do it, yeah. I feel
I know, that's my purpose.
It's all come down to this conversation right here.
Yeah, I just need to start sharing it.
And the amazing thing, we were doing this ceremony to open up this container, and then we're here with the Google executive talking about, he just told me about how to make a regenerative database. So all this stuff that is just in your head, getting it out there into something that can generate more sites. Because that's the thing, once it's in a deep learning model, now you can have it make web pages. So I've been saving a lot of websites with an app called SiteSucker. Basically, you put in the URL, I've downloaded all these Dome websites, Freshies, Permies, all these really good databases, and being able to do that, because I'm with you. I don't know a lot of these platforms that you come up with. They're really, we could really use them, and also combine them into one place, because they are so scattered.
And that's the biggest challenge we had. We were in so many silos, so I encourage everyone to if you have an organization, share other people's organizations, because you might have the same vision, and that's what I really want to do, is show okay, this is the same vision. Why don't we have a portal for just reforestation, just water projects? We need, it doesn't. It's how are we in 2023 with the world still doesn't have access to clean drinking water? We have the tools available,
Right.
It's just that block of the resources and the powers that be. So it's really time to link these together, and number one is cross posting and cross sharing, collaborating, to be hey, wow, your project's so cool, let's share it on our page, and start making that wave, that ripple of impact.
Well, yeah, I feel you're doing that here. We were just making a list of what you're to connect people that know how to do it. All the people are here. It's just high level, so it's nice to see that unfold.
Yeah, here.
Even just this following week is just really acting on that and being hey, let's see the conversation further. We're gonna do some more streaming on Tuesday. It'd be great to bring some more people into the combo and see where we can actually start to make the database now and make it. We want to get touch screens for our next installation, so the database is available at the event, being able to intake things there. So you can see who your tree team is. Maybe there's 14 people at this festival who are into trees. Bam, that they entered in the database, and it accumulates. And if we have these terminals happening at Lightning in a Bottle, happening at Envision, happening here, then it really accumulates quick. Very, when you talk about synchronicities, I mean, those people took a long time for the earth to grow those flowers. You know what I mean?
The people that blossom.
Exactly. They're finally full-fledged flowers, ready to express on the planet. So and I think we're closer to the honeypot. We're closer to the ethos of all this than we realize. There's not other people out there that do it. So
you're the ones that we've been waiting for.
We are straight up. Yep.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that we are continuing to read this web after so many years.
I know. They try to beat us down. but we
We're
just
still
kept
here.
coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we ain't stopping now. This is
Yeah.
legacy time.
Definitely. Is there anything else that is on your heart right now?
Yeah, astrology. Can I bring up astrology? Right now, like the South Node Libra, North Node Aries. The hesitation, like we know all the facts. You know, I don't have to research anymore. We know where to go. And North Node Aries is taking action. So that's why I'm out here.
Yeah,
Is I just took action. Yeah. It's like if I'm gonna like work myself into the ground, I'm gonna go out swinging. Just like it's not even that. It's now I feel like I could be transferring to do this full time.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to just continue and to just take it to the next level and manifest a team to create the New York media and marketing and advertising for all these amazing people and artists and businesses and organizations that are changing the world. Yes, and with that we shall emerge into the darkness of the music and the new vibration of the night. Moondrop playing, and Moondrop's amazing. I don't know if you met her, but she has been doing the community gardens in, you met her, Magdalene?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so it was just so amazing to plant. We had like planting party in Nevada City, and someone donated their land right in downtown, right near the cemetery, and it completely turned into a whole huge garden, and composting, irrigation, seeds, and then I left for 3 months and came back and it was like flourishing. So it was so incredible to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
So amazing. Yeah. And just being able to go pick like for free. It's all free. So anyone can go and take the tomatoes and cherries in the squash and like imagine if we just did that everywhere. Like we can do that.
There would be no hunger.
Yeah. We don't even need the money to do it. We can also fund and make it easier and faster and use the technology, but like that's something we can do now. Is just start building community gardens on a small scale and just do it everywhere. And make it fun. Like have a party.
Gamify it.
Yeah, we need to go back to the gamification.
Yeah, let's do a whole segment on that.
Yeah.
How unpack how we can do that.
Yeah, like the bump go.
Yeah.
Like why aren't we getting we should reward ourselves for doing the things, composting, reducing waste and planting trees and doing all the things.
Oh, the kids
contributing, like Karma Tribe, but having the notification, everything.
Yeah, quantify it in a currency that would like reward people for doing it.
Yeah. And that way we inspire people to act and contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just consuming the content, consuming everything, and then you get inspired. Yay!
Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. I feel like your phone's probably dead.
But they're probably all.
Oh no.